Hi, this is my game level, which is inspired by the Divergent movie. During the first semester, I first started developing my game ideas by looking at which part of the Divergent world I will inspirationally set my level. After researching all the places by reading descriptions in the book series and watching the film, I decided to use Dauntless Compound. After that, I used the same method of research to get ideas of the suitable game mechanics and the main objective that will act as the purpose of the game. My result was to have combat, exploration, stealth as well as shooter mechanics, and the main objective was to explore the Dauntless Compound to find where the Erudite simulation program is being broadcasted from, then stop the simulation. My plan for gameplay was originally to have a third-person player character to animate like a soldier in gun combat, including being able to have a stealth mode so the player can fight against the AI Dauntless traitors to eventually get to the simulation computer. Also, that the player has health bar as well as aim cross on the UI. I made these decisions for my gameplay because I thought that they fit well to the theme of what Dauntless reflects and what everything works together to achieve a good experience. For the concept of the level, I first watched the Divergent film, then I took screenshots and looked closely to get a good idea of the basic layout of the Divergent game level, asset ideas as well as the environmental style of the compound. From these references, I drew concept art to what I wanted my level to look like. This is my custom third-person character, which I coded myself using animation blueprints, basic blueprints, and a state machine. In the state machine, I used the rifle stance of the preset character animations which I got off the marketplace. I used the rifle stance animations when jogging, which activates when J is pressed, crouching, which activates when C is pressed, jump, which activates when spacebar is pressed, idle hit, which is automatic due to the state machine programming, walking, which is the automatic animation when using the cursor keys and the mouse for camera rotation, and prone, which is activated when P is pressed, as well as the animations which acted between the main animations. The only problem I had with doing this coding is that I didn't understand why my idle hip animations weren't working and why I couldn't move my character when I attached the gun with a socket. Around the game level, there are turret guns stationed. They consist of two components, which are the gun and the ammo. I had to code both of these objects using blueprints. For the gun, I coded the blueprints to make the gun activate when the player character moves inside the trigger box perimeter, then rotate and track the player whilst spawning ammo. Also, I set the variable condition enable so I can switch the gun on and off. For the ammo, I made it into a projectile in blueprints and added velocity and physics to it so they act like a bullet. The problem I overcame with the turret gun was that I managed to align the gun and ammo spawning correctly, because before the gun was moving correctly, the ammo projectiles weren't moving with it. Additionally, since I have quite a few turret guns, there were hundreds of projectiles lingering in the level caused by not being able to get rid of them. Then this caused the play mode in the editor to stop working. I fixed this by disabling most of the guns in my level. The problems I didn't manage to fix were that I couldn't get the ammo projectiles to get destroyed even though I tried using lifespan and destroy methods. Also, I managed to get my player to die when an ammo projectile collided, but it stopped me from moving out of the first room. Around the level, I have used methods of creating the aesthetic. First, I've created my own soundtracks for the level, including the ambient sound of cave air and crumbling debris echoes. Also, I have created the soundtrack that is played near the end of the level, which has tribal combat style drums and synthesizer sounds. I have also used a few clips from other resources for sounds, including the gunshot sound and the computer shutting down sound. Also, I have added blue neon lights near the beginning of the level, which I added. I made these by making the material emissive. I have added some basic lights and light models at either side of the end level platform, as well as a skylight in between the opening in the roof for jumping into the net at the beginning of the level. Additionally, I have added some explosion particle systems in the computers at the end of the level to give the illusion of the computers blowing up. To create the destruction of the erudite simulation computer, I placed a trigger box near the front of the three computers and coded it using blueprints. I programmed the sequence to start when an object collides with the trigger box. The three explosion particle systems will activate alongside the explosion sound. Then there was a delay before the system shutting down sound plays, and finally the game level ends. The only thing I need to fix with the sequence is to code it so only the player character can activate it, since some of the ammo projectiles manage to move to the trigger box and set it off before the player gets there.